Set your butane torches to high and your expectations to low. Coming to you live from Just the Tip Cigars in the hills of the Steel City. Get ready to get your fix. This is the Cigar Junkies Podcast. Welcome to the Cigar Junkies Podcast, a cigar show for the community by the community. A forum to talk stogies, booze, food, and anything else in the cigar lifestyle. If you're looking for ratings, negativity, reviews, or an authority on all things cigars, you came to the wrong place. Whether you like what you hear or not, please join the conversation and let us know by finding us at the Cigar Junkies Facebook group or emailing us at thecigarjunkies@gmail.com.
What's up, junkies?
Yeah, that's the sound you want to hear on a Sunday morning. So, we're back.
We are.
Nobody else is.
We did a thing.
Yeah. What shall we just address?
Just get after it.
Yeah, pitter patter.
Let's get at
it. So last week, Jason and I attended an event that some of you may have heard us talk about, the Cigar Box Guitar Festival, which was dope. It was great. Mm-hmm. But here's the culmination of things that led to last week. We never picked a cigar.
Wait, what happened last week?
Never had a cigar.
Lead off with that, so they know.
We didn't have a show.
Yeah, we
didn't have a show. I didn't. I was beating around too much. Yeah. Okay. We didn't have the cigar we were smoking. I didn't have show notes. Jason and I were both at a festival to which I arrived at. I think I got there at like 9:15 in the morning.
I got there at 10.
And I started drinking. And I probably stopped drinking around night, like when it turned dark. And then I was there till 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. No. I was there till about 12:30, something like that. Maybe 1. Jason also was. And Jason did what Jason does. He ramps and ramps and ramps.
Did you consume?
Until he's on stage.
There's
nobody else left.
I chilled out all day, right? And my wife was like, hey, I'm coming out. So it got to about, I don't know, like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And I'm like, okay, I'll have a drink. Then I had another one. My wife showed up about 4 hours later with a 12-pack of beer for me. And that was the end of the story.
That was game over.
It was game over.
Yeah, that plus the heat.
Dude, I consumed a lot more than I thought I did. Now, granted, I was over a long period of time, probably almost 12 hours. But I drank 3/4 of a bottle of Coralejo, and I gave you 3 of the Leinenkugel summer shandies.
Yep.
I drank the other 9 apparently.
Oh,
so I had 9 of those and 3/4 of a bottle of that, and I actually was fine because I spread it out. Like there were moments when I was like I am at the beginning of the show. Yeah. But never like all the way.
Here.
But the end of the night, Jason.
Now I gotta preface this.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm gonna show this to you, Sam, and I will show the listeners at home. They offered to pay me. Right?
Okay. Well, they did pay you.
They offered to pay me. So when it came time to get paid, I was like, listen, I don't want the money. We'll just toss it in one of the drawings or something like that. You know, don't worry about it. And Corey was like, yeah, toss it in one of the drawings, do something. So they were like, are you sure you want to do that? I'm like, yeah, dude, I had a blast today. It's fine. So I threw it in one of the drawings for the Cigar Box guitars. I didn't win it, right? So I wasn't butthurt about it. And later on...
It was funny, though. Because 100, like he had 100 entries in this thing, or probably more than that.
Yeah, I had 100 entries in
it. And just no. And he was like, I ain't gonna win. And I was like, I know it'll be funny.
So later on during the night, I'm looking at Louie's guitars, and I picked one up, and I was like, Louie, this thing is beautiful. Let me buy it off of you. And he was like, it's yours. Do you want to see it?
Yeah. I'm gonna give some vague background so as not to do anything crazy. This guitar was commissioned.
Okay.
And then subsequently, like after Louis spent money building it, they were like, yeah, we don't want it.
Oh,
so
really?
It was like there was some bad mojo attached to it. So I think it was kind of like, Jay forfeited his fee to donate to the to the event,
to the cause.
And so I think Louis felt compelled to be like, hey, man, let's turn some bad karma into good.
So you walked away with that guy.
I walked away with that guy.
It would be great if he just walked away with that guy. What actually happened was when there was 10 people left on the whole farm.
Yeah.
And it was pitch black. You couldn't see people. And everything was packed up. And I was ready to go home. And I mean ready. But Shan kind of wasn't. She was still having a good time. And that's fine. But then this guy is like, I've been sitting here watching everybody all day. I want to play some And I'm like, there's nobody here. Come on, man. And he's like, nah, we got it. I'm like, all right, fine. So being the friend that I am, I go haul my gear out of the truck, unpack it all, get up there. And then he's trying to play this thing, and it sounds like a cat dying because it's not in tune.
Wasn't a tune yet.
Oh,
And he was like, it's fine. I can tune. I'm like, get a tuner, find a tuner. There's got to be one
take
here.
45 seconds. You get this.
I have one somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Open your phone.
But yeah, that's what he's like. I can tune to you, which started 10 minutes of going hitchery. And every single time we'd go through all the strings, and then he would strum it, and it would sound like absolute crap. No. It's fine. And he's like, let's play something. I'm like, what do you want to play? Anything. And I'm like, it was that I'm gonna stop it there because it's just a nutshell of badness. Eventually, he did wise up and put the guitar down, and then the oldest guitar player there rolled up and pulled his out, and Jason subsequently took out the drums, to which he was better at than he was on his non-tuned guitar, but his timing was different.
It was drunk timing.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm hoping for the best here.
So like normally you have like 3-4-4-4. His was like 3-3-4-2, something like that. So
that good.
it was interesting.
Oh yeah.
However, shout out to Dave and Louie. The event was cool.
Incredible.
The spot was amazing where they did the festival. It was way more than I thought it was going to be. They did a great job of setting up all the equipment ahead of time. There was a little shanty town of tents and vendors everywhere. People were hawking cool stuff like
Hawking.
Hawking. They
They
were
were hawking things two at a time.
He didn't want to embrace it, but he did.
I hate it. I hate it.
No, it was cool, man. Like you had Chapel Hill was selling stuff right next to them. I thought they were selling chintzy jewelry, and I'm like looking for something with a bunny on it for my kid, and I found out their wine glass ornaments is what they're supposed to be, so you can identify your glass if they all look the same. Which I actually had gotten Shannon a golden retriever one years ago, and the last show that we went to down at Stotch's place, Shannon had accidentally left her travel glass, which had it on it.
Oh.
A couple of those, I believe. And then, like, that was the time when we found out, like, hey, they had a falling out and we were never going to do it there again.
Oh.
And I was like, has anybody seen it? No, nobody came back. I was like,
that
oh,
blows.
no. But they had one there that had a golden retriever that was not gold, but it was actually like, it looks like a little, porcelain or clay or whatever, like an actual little golden. So she was ecstatic when I gave that to her. There was all kinds of cool stuff, man. It was a great event. Louie and Dave killed it. The musicians killed it. It was a great time. So, how was your week?
Chaotic. It was awesome. We had the event at 1781 on Thursday, and thank you to everybody who came out and sat in that heat. That was we had a really good turnout, and 50% more than that had texted or called me and was like, dude, I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to stand outside in the heat. And I'm like, I don't blame you. Like it was oppressive.
Is that level of Mario 2?
Yes.
Is that the
100%?
What everyone always references where the sun's trying to kill you?
Yeah. Yep. But no, it was a blast. Putting competition went really well. One of the old heads just walked. The one guy who brought his own putter, and dude, this thing is, what do you say? It's over 50 years old. Like,
They look like a hockey stick.
Well, and it had like, you got the shaft of the putter, and then the grip is just like this big wide just block like just cylinder on top of it. But he had made a comment earlier. He's like, you know, I love doing putting competitions. He's like, but every time I win a putter, I just end up giving it away anyways. So he wins, and he's like, Sammy, what'd you think? Did you think at any point that, you know, I was going to win this? And I went, yes. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, bro, you said every time I win a putter. that implies that not only have you won these,
more than
you
once.
win this often. He's like, yeah. And he did. He was like walking around to everybody like, hey, you want a putter? Hey, you want a putter? Like,
what was it? Do you know?
Odyssey.
That's good enough. It was an Odyssey.
Yeah.
Odyssey putters are really good quality.
Yeah, that's everybody was like, it's actually like a nice putter, but
yeah.
But no, everybody got like really enjoyed that side of it.
I had that. I think, was I telling you about that 2 weeks ago when you mentioned that there was going to be a putting contest and the prize was going to be a putter? I said, I hate that, man, because you go there, you putt, you win the putting contest with your putter, and there's like, here's a new putter, and you're like,
clearly, I've got to figure it out with this one.
I've got this putter. This putter's dialed in, man. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I mean, you might be taking someone from amateurs to pro. It could
sure.
Yeah.
You know.
Other than this one guy, everybody else used the new putter for the competition because of exactly that. And I was like,
I remember this discussion beforehand, and I felt like that was the idea. Was like, no, use this one.
Yeah, we let everybody use the new putter to avoid that. You just pointed at nothingness.
I pointed at Ryan. I realized
we were trying to ignore him.
I bought new clubs, and I want to show them to Ryan.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's what are you doing with your old clubs? You're not that much bigger than me. I might need a loaner set to see if they fit me.
I was okay. Yeah, that's not a problem. It is the entire set sans the putter. It's everything.
Wow. Yeah, we'll discuss that later. But no, so we did that, and then so surprisingly enough, he invited me back to do it again. So next month, the third Thursday, whatever that's going to be, we got that again this month. The one coming up is going to be Davidoff and Davidoff Rep, but it's Feria Tego and Camacho event. So I get to do it again. Hopefully it's not the sun this time. But
ironically, I had a coworker offer a set of clubs to me and to like take me out and teach me to play. And his excuse was, if you come and I could give you mine, then I could buy a whole new set. But it sounds like that's off the table.
Yeah, it's gone.
Also, I've never got an invitation to actually go play from this coworker.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess you just got to take things people say with a grain of salt.
I think he's talking about me.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
It's like that.
Really? It's like that, you think?
I think he's talking about me.
Oh, let's not make it awkwarder than it is. No,
now to get a little personal, how tall are you?
Currently,
he's a little guy.
5'6".
Okay. Well, anything.
Here come the excuses.
No, anything you would get, you'd need to have adjusted.
I played golf one time.
Right.
But that's why you snapped the head off. That's why the head snapped off.
You broke the head off of a driver. Do you know why you broke the head off of a driver?
Because it was a girl's driver, and I don't know how to play golf.
Incorrect. Because
you were
too
long.
I
think you're overestimating or underestimating how much I cannot play golf because I've never played golf.
This is true.
Yeah, it's a factor.
Two things can be true.
Actually, you know what? We're talking about our week, but we're talking about 2 weeks, huh?
We are.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of indicative.
Yeah. Well, last weekend was awesome because Friday was the kid's birthday. So Britt opened the shop.
What did kids get? Some sort of vehicle?
Yes. Ponies. Yeah. Oh, they wish.
Sam's like, my pony budget's killing me.
Yeah. No, yeah. So Friday, Britt opened the shop. So I had the first half of the day to hang out with the kids and be with them on their birthday. And then Saturday, she was like, you know what? That was fun. Let's do it again. So I got the kids the first half of Saturday too. And then Father's Day, I came in here and I worked from open to noon. And then I had the kids the rest of the night. So like I came in here on Tuesday because she has all day Mondays. I came in here Tuesday and I felt lost. I was like, like that awkward walking back into work after like vacation. I had that because I was like, I wasn't here Like I wasn't here a whole day for 4 days. This is awkward. And then Father's Day was awesome. We just went and rode bikes. That's all I wanted to do. That's all they wanted to do. It was perfect.
I worked. I slept in, then I worked.
Yep.
Yeah, it was about it. Although my awesome kids gave me I'm usually the guy that's like, no, they ask me what I want, and I'm like, I got nothing, and it's get me whatever you want to get me, because it's always a cool. Usually, my son draws me a picture that's awesome, that hangs up forever. My daughter gives me something, from the heart that she thinks about a lot, and it's really cool and like surprises me, and I like that. This year, I was like, I want a thing, and I'm really bad with money, right? Like I buy stuff. Right. And I've been trying really hard for self-improvement to not do that lately. But especially because I got a little smack, which I needed to be like, hey man, get your stuff together. Right. So, but there's one thing on my list, and I'm like, this really help a lot. That was a guitar rack for the wall that will hold all of the guitars I own. So, like the old orientation of my basement, which you've been in my basement, It's not large. It's a small room.
Yeah.
So, just in front of the liquor cabinet and the wine cooler, there are 3 guitar stands set up there, to my poor wife's chagrin, because every time she goes to put a bottle in or out of that wine cooler,
gotta move the rack.
She has to move 2 guitars. Oh. And then she wouldn't put them back like all the way, because sometimes that wasn't the first bottle she'd go for.
Yeah.
And then she'd have to get crap from me, because like I am out there in terms of just like being all over the place, but I do get OCD about certain things. I really do. And so I'll be like, you didn't push the guitar all the way back. You know what I mean? Like it's a stupid thing, but it drives me nuts. And so like now it's like cool, because I had 2 guitars that had to live in cases, and I had stuff strewn about the rest of the house, to which was in the way of everything else. Mm-hmm. Now I have a beautiful rack where all 6 of my guitars can live and be accessible. And it's
you can just grab one and go.
My kids are awesome, because they got me the thing I asked for, and
that's cool.
And I tried to act surprised, but it was like, hey man, this is what I wanted, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, your kids are at that age now. It's Dad, what do you want?
But I was in Dick's Sporting Goods with Emma, and we were walking through, and I saw this golf bag, and I was like, Emma, take a picture of this golf bag, send it to Mom.
Yeah,
that's what I want for Father's Day.
It worked out?
Nope.
No.
Well, both of my kids have some sort of income. Right.
Oh, sure.
Like my daughter has a job. My son mows grass in the summer now for the neighbor, so he makes some money and stuff.
Yeah.
And my son's the kind of kid that like he likes to spend his money for everybody. He likes to take He's taken my wife out to dinner many times. Like, Mom, I've got money. Let's go get.
Oh, tell me I ended this like an idiot.
You are an idiot. Yeah. I don't know how else to categorize that. We will continue to eat up airtime while you reinitiated a live stream.
Yeah, I'm going to grab coffee since we're doing that.
Well, I mean, the podcast is still recording, but I got you.
Yeah.
No.
Go. I could still recording.
Yeah. No, I got you. I could talk.
I can wait. I'm not.
No. It makes sense. Go for it. If only I could remember what I was talking about. No, they both have income.
Sure.
And my son likes to spend, like, he feels good spending his money on other people, which is an amazing trait for a kid that young. And so, essentially, I knew that they would both be happy to have something to purchase for me out of their own money. And it was like, listen, if you guys, I sent them, he was talking about, like, take a picture of this. Mm-hmm. Like, take a picture of this. This is what I want. I literally sent the Amazon link to my daughter, because I was like, okay, this is the thing. And then I sent it to her and was like, you guys can chip in on this, and you'll like be cool. You'll make it work, right? Although, you know what? I'm seeing Sam get up on the live, so I don't really know what happened. But
Is it still going?
Yeah, it's still live on my screen. So yeah, it's still there.
Okay, that I'm just
we'll see. You can monitor that?
Not going to touch anything.
If it ends,
yeah,
shout out or say something, I guess.
So,
but anyways, so like, there wasn't a lot of guilt for me to be like, here, I send you the link. And then like a week and a half before Father's Day, I was like, you guys remember the thing, right? It was like
subtle.
No, it's very, very heavy-handed. I was trying not to be that guy, but it was like, because I actually want to shout out or say something, and they, of course, come through. And the funny thing is, like, but anyways, I recently handed. I was trying not to be that guy, but it was like, because I actually want to shout out and say some stuff in his room, and I knew he'd bought something else. The funny thing is, like, but anyways, I recently handed. I was trying not to be that guy, but it was like, because I actually want to shout out and say some stuff in his room, and I knew he'd bought something else. The funny thing is, like, but anyways, Mark recently handed. I was trying not to be that guy, but it was like, he was like, because I actually want to shout out and say some stuff in his room, and I knew he'd bought something else. The funny thing is, like, but anyways, Mark recently handed. I was trying not to be that guy, but it was like, he was like, because I actually want to shout out. Something room and I knew it. I don't know. But anyway, Mark was I'm very trying not to have that guy. I was like, something room and I knew it. I don't know. But anyway, Mark was I'm very trying not to have that guy. I was like, something room and I knew it. My wife something room. where you can watch live music every other Saturday in the summertime, and it is absolutely incredible. It is the best place that you can watch live music in the city. Well, on the outskirts of the city. I'm ad-libbing here. You know what I mean?
Pittsburgh's so weird that, like, where are you from? Pittsburgh. Yeah. Meanwhile, you're an hour and a half away.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think
that's not an hour and a half, but I'm saying, like, people, like, I'm Pittsburgh, but it's not like they're just, like, saying it to make it easy. You know, if you're from this area, it's Pittsburgh. Like, I don't know. It's weird how our suburbs and our city and everything, but I think that's because historically nobody lived in Pittsburgh. Like, that wasn't a thing until 10 years ago. Like, nobody lived in Pittsburgh.
The ironic thing about Pittsburgh is we're bird dogging again. Yeah. Bird walking is the term. Bird dogging.
Bird dogging is different. That's chasing down.
Yeah. So the thing that's weird about Pittsburgh is you can live in suburbs or other areas close to the city and still have a Pittsburgh zip code, which will still mess you up or still be called Pittsburgh. So
yeah, I mean, that's us here.
Make the house your home for premium sticks. You know what I mean?
So I'd like to shout out Shannon Banks for telling us that the stream was messed up.
Did we fix it?
We did. Right. I had accidentally opened up another stream, our stream in the background, so they were playing over each other. So yeah, it was kind of funny. I walked out with Ryan, and it sounded like a horror movie or something just playing in the background.
Let's hope that's not on everything.
It's not on everything. It's just over, I believe it's over the call to action and the...
No, I meant, like, are we going to have to go and do some editizing?
No. There's just going to be a weird spot for, like, 2 minutes in the middle of this thing.
In the interim, we are smoking the 601 La Bomba Warhead 9. If I know my Roman numerals, and I'm not sure that I do. This is a confusing light, to say the least. This is a 6x56 Figurado. Although the size is cool, the banding for this cigar can cause a little confusion, can it not?
How so?
Well, there's a band, yes, which is usually located on the head.
Yeah.
Unless there's numerous bands.
Yeah.
Or a large band.
Yeah.
This band seemed to be on the head, was upside down from normal. And Sam had to explain to the rest of the folks that...
Yeah, so when you're trying to figure out which side of your cigar to cut, doesn't matter where it is. It's pretty consistent. I've never seen it not like this. If you can read it, this side is the cut. Doesn't matter where the band is on it. So when
you need to be able to read it.
Yeah, whenever it's properly indexed for reading purposes, left to right, top to bottom, you know, the top of that is where you cut. So this being, because these were way down towards the bottom that you can't see because my giant hands was way down towards the bottom like that. So one of us, not going to say who, cut down here because historically the side that the band is that far away from is the side you cut.
Yeah. The other thing about a Perfecto or any Figurado is they're open to interpretation. Smoke it how you want. You know what I mean? But there's usually a way that they want you to do it.
Yeah, there's an intended recipe.
But those people that are putting those bands on, a lot of them, I'm assuming, don't even speak the old English. So who knows? You know, maybe they thought it was right. They might think that's how it goes. The cigar we are smoking, though, has a broadleaf wrapper, but maybe not the one you think, and Nicaraguan binders and fillers. And the reason is it's made by AJ Fernandez at the San Latano factory in Ocotal, Nicaragua. That's not right, but I'm going with it anyway. And it consists of all Nicaraguan tobaccos. Wow. Most notably the broadleaf, which is typically grown in Connecticut,
Yeah.
But this is a Nicaraguan broadleaf.
So this
all the
would
quotes, all the
be
air quotes.
a Puro.
It is a Puro.
Puro.
Hey, I'm getting there. It's only been like a year and 3 months or something like that.
Yeah, I don't like the phrase it's typically grown in Connecticut though.
Well, I mean, no, because
it's misleading. It leads people to think
all
that
tobacco used to be grown in one place and then has moved to another place,
Right.
and you move the seed and stuff. But the thing is, when you say broadleaf without indicating otherwise, it is kind of misleading, right? Because when you think that's like saying it's a Q-tip when really it's an off-brand cotton swab.
Yeah, I agree. But it's the same thing. That's the part that kills me, because like the Camacho, they have the broadleaf now.
Mm-hmm.
It's their newest offering. It's like a year old. It's a Honduran grown broadleaf. Then you have Pennsylvania broadleaf. You have Dominican grown broadleaf. You can grow it wherever. So like just say the first word. Just it doesn't take that much. But then you can clarify
you could say Connecticut, to let you know it's legit, I suppose. But there's different variants. Like you already have Pennsylvania broadleaf. You know that's not Connecticut. You know it's different. You know it's going to have that bang punch to it. And I guess it is what it is. But with that being said, there are certain tobaccos that at this point, when you say them, everybody that knows, hey, it's from here. So
but like Habano, Corojo, like that, they're grown everywhere.
Right. That's correct. But there are very few.
I'm trying to think. It
started with shade. You know what I mean?
But like shade grown can be everywhere. That's why I'm like, that's what's frustrating about it, is like you said, this is what do they call it? They call it a Perfecto or Figurado. But like, to me, that's a Salomon. Like it had that close at the end. It was pointing on what, like, I don't know. The sizing annoys me because of that constant.
The thing you need to learn this week is people call stuff whatever they want for their own purposes.
Sure.
And that's essentially the spectrum.
Like it is very loose guidelines on what a Toro is or a Robusto is. It annoys me because like the consumer side of it, you're trying to learn, but you're trying to learn something that doesn't actually have fixed meaning. So it's really tough when people are trying to get educated on it. Like I remember going through it. It's like, okay, just give up. Like it's not a Robusto. It's a Robusto Extra. It's a Toro. It's a Petite Corona. Okay, and like even that Petite Corona I'd be cool with, because like a Petite Corona is just a shorter version of it. Then I'd be fine with it.
Sure.
But a Petite Corona from this company and that company are so different. Like, I can grab a 4x46 Petite Corona all the way down to, I think the smallest one I've seen is a 4x42, and they still called it a Petite Corona. And I'm like, it's not though. They're not the same. So if you're frustrated with it, going through learning that, you are not alone.
Yeah,
that's
the proprietary naming's gotta go, man. Can we just standardize? You know what I mean? Like iPhone, quit holding out so you could charge more money for your own damn charger. You know what I mean? Like just get on the bandwagon. USB-C. Everybody else is doing it.
I think all the new iPhones are USB-C now.
Are they?
They are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and we got the nod from the iPhone user over there too. So
I also have Yield iPhone.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Corey, what do you think of this thing?
The cigar is, oh wow, it's a good experience so far. I may not have cut it properly. I may not have lit it properly. I may not have debanded properly, but I enjoy it. And that's all that matters. It is a good time. It's going very well with my weekly monster and my large glass of tequila. And what else can you ask for? You know what I mean? I'm going to pass it to you on your thoughts. But real quick, I do want to go back a little ways in the chat room. First of all, Ryan Seneca. I am 5'6". Okay. That is an embarrassing height. I'm not I would, if I was going to lie about my height, I would give you something. I'd be like, I'm 5'7". You know what I mean? Like that sounds a little bit better. 5'6" is embarrassing enough. I'm not like lying to cover up an even shorter height. So, Shannon says to Eric, which is hilarious because she has a different response than I had. Eric asks, Any suggestions on enjoying a cigar when it's 100 plus outside? My suggestion is find a local shop that has a good selection and a great atmosphere to hang out in. Maybe you can even watch some jackalopes do a podcast if you show up early enough.
Enjoy some antics.
And they don't decide to call off for the week. That's an option, But Shannon says, get a tanning pool. You can lay in the water and stay cool and enjoy the sun at the same time. You know what I mean?
No, as far as like smoking outside in this weather, the humidity being what it is, it's actually not a horrible smoking experience. But the humidity being so high, you expect a lot of relights and stuff like that. Where in like Vegas, it smokes fine, even though it's hot,
But to your point where you were saying the humidity's high, expect a lot of relights, that comes into like dry boxing. Could you, if you know it's going to be hot and humid for the next couple days, wouldn't you set out a few cigars for like the weekend?
You have to
or
be
something
careful
like
with that.
Okay, well that's why I'm asking.
Have you
so
noticed?
You can clarify.
I'm going to jump in before you jump in because you're more better at this than me now. You're more expert. Do you ever notice when it's really cold, really dry in the wintertime that you experience more cracking than you do at other times? Well, you're taking a very humid product and taking it somewhere dry. So it's the other way around, too. You don't want to over dry a cigar and then expose it to a super humid climate because sudden expansion or contraction is bad. I mean, these are made of leaves. Leaves. You can only expect them to take so much abuse. I actually addressed a question on one of the groups, one of the Facebook groups, where a guy had said that he had purchased a humidor that contained a lot of cigars that had been dried out, and he put them in a Ziploc or some sort of container with an 84 Bovita packet. No, these do better whenever you go in small increments. You want them to be subtly changed. You know what I mean? If you have something that is all the way dry, like almost no humidity, you need to expose it to humidity a little bit at a time because any sudden change is going to be terrible for your construction.
Honestly, I had another misconception that I was under was the more humid, the better. And then, so I ran my humidor, which is climate controlled. I ran my humidor at 72. I think I bought a bunch of 72s off of you when I first started my humidor, and that was when we had gone to the barn smoker. So that's when I got the humidor.
Very hot.
Now I came back here. I bought one Bovita pack off of Sam. It's one of the big ones. It's a 65. I stuck it in there. I've not had a problem with a cigar since then.
65 is a great number because it's the medium, right? You got a little bit of room.
69 is going to be your medium. You know what I mean, like that. So the three cigar size Bovitas you're going to want to use are going to be 65, 69, or 72. Oh,
what I'm referring to when I say medium is not the size, what the Bovitas come in. It is. As far as I'm concerned, your cigar should be stored somewhere between 60 degrees and 60 humidity and 70 degrees and 70 humidity. And it depends on how aggressive you want to be with either holding a cigar where it is or trying to age a cigar, right? And when I say 65 is the medium
I see what you're saying.
Of that range. I'm not talking about the products that you can purchase.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, so there's a lot in that. So general rule of thumb that I use when people are asking about like Bovita packs and whatnot, if you're keeping it in a baggie or you're going to keep it in your travel humidor, 69s are great. That's spot on. That's where you want to be. If you're going to leave them in there and treat it like a Tupperware, then it falls into the Tupperware category. But like if you have a sealed unit like you do that's, temperature controlled, all that jazz, you want to run a 65. Those things hold humidity so well that it's ridiculous. And what happens is the cigars that you're bringing from here that are 68%, you're sticking in there, they're fine. I mean,
it's similar enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys this time of year take their humidification out of their humidors and just open the door once a day, and it's fine.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's humidity in the air, right?
Sure.
So And that's enough. Like literally just doing that. I know actually quite a few guys now that they don't humidify their cabinets. I haven't put any water in mine, and I have the fans off on mine since March.
But I've got a question. So this goes into I used to brew beer a lot. Okay. And depending on where you do it, it will affect the taste, the flavor, and the fermenting process.
Oh yeah, because of the different yeasts.
Because there are yeasts in the air. So if you want to really make like a local beer that is indicative of your area, cook it outside.
Yeah.
Or cook the wort outside, because the wort will absorb some of that natural yeast that's in the air. I would wonder if that would have any sort of effect on your humidor, because you are introducing those local microbes and stuff like that, and those local yeasts into your humidor at home.
Yeah. So I don't know of anything that says that plays much of a part for your humidor. It's, the one thing you do want to worry about with like exposing, like that room is designed to neutralize as much of the mold as possible, maintain certain humidity and temperature levels. Like that thing's been dehumidifying almost all week this week. It hasn't been humidifying.
Sure.
I mean, I came in day before yesterday and the humidor was at 73%. So I'm like, oh, great. So like, and because of the size of the room, all day the dehumidifier was in there running.
Sure.
And then yesterday morning when I came in, I had it down to 67, and then I had to sit and play a game of turn the dehumidifier on, turn the humidifier on, because I didn't want it to come up too fast.
Sure.
But it's that little bit of time, makes a big difference in it. And then we were talking with in these temperatures, your humidity is like the minimal part. If you take a 70-degree cigar outside where it's 100 and light it, you're exactly what you said. You're having a big swing in temperature.
Sure.
I've not had nearly as many issues with that as I have with going to cold. Cold is when it always, gives me hell. It's always a real pain. So it's wild how it works and how quickly it can adapt and it can change to it. Sorry, I had Ryan grab a cigar. I want to show you guys something. So have you ever split a cigar?
No.
You ever cut a cigar open?
No. Don't cut it yourself though.
I'm good.
He's not gonna. He's okay. While you do that, I'm gonna chime in real quick, and that's when I say 65 is a great number to be at for your personal at home, because if it's a little warm and it's a little humid, your cigar isn't going to go through a crazy change.
Right.
If it's a little cool and a little dry, your cigar is not going to go through a crazy change. That is right in the middle of the
He's going to
camera.
move it in a second.
Okay, just letting you know. So my point is, since you're in the medium of the range that is available and accessible to you guys, that is actually, good for your cigar, you don't have to necessarily worry so much about bringing it out of your humidor and into a new
environment and climate.
Environment. The other thing is, and I'm gonna have to take a second because I'm trying to remember where I was going with this, and I'm losing it. Dang, man! That's the problem with being ADD, is I had a thing while you were talking that I wanted to add in.
That's why I was writing notes. I'm like, don't forget the Bovita thing, all that. Oh, actually, I did forget a Bovita thing.
Go.
So like the 65s are good for that. The 69s, I discussed, are good for travel, carrying the bag, and some guys will run, the guys that like drier cigars will run that. The 72s pretty much reserve those for wood box. So wood box humidors are beautiful.
Mm.
But unless you go buku into them, they suck. They're terrible. Like in the winter, now in the summertime here, they're great. Because we have that active humidity surrounding the humidor, and the Spanish cedar's doing its job real easy. In the wintertime, when was the last time you ran a wood box humidor?
That's not a real good question for Corey.
Yeah, I actually was like,
Corey doesn't run humidors anymore. Corey just buys a box and smokes them out of the box, because usually Corey smokes them fast enough that they're fine.
Yeah, and so, like with a wood box, you want to run like the 72.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, I lost my.
Yeah, it's your mom's here.
Oh.
Just say hi.
Hello, mother.
Hi, Troy Harper.
Oh, wait, which one's which?
Really?
You can't tell the difference between your mother and Troy Harper?
That's a pretty man. That's a pretty man.
All right.
All right.
My
So
mom does not have a beard, dude.
Are we going with this?
Are you guys good to go?
Go,
with this?
go, go. I was
right.
killing you time.
Yep. So what I did is I took and I split this guy from here down very carefully, very responsibly. And I left the cap and I didn't cut the cap to kind of show you guys that part too. I don't think a lot of people appreciate how thin.
This is not what I had in mind when I printed these show notes, but I'm good with it.
I don't think people appreciate how thin the wrapper leaf is.
Particularly dependent on what kind of wrapper.
Yeah. But like,
lower.
hold on, let me, like, for perspective, like, it's, there's nothing to it. Like, there's no, sorry about that, guys. There's nothing to it. They're super thin. And I mean, this is not the highest of quality cigars, which is why we're using this one. But like the Camacho, we did this with the Camacho, Connecticut, and I could make out your face through it. Like,
oh, really?
I couldn't see, like, I couldn't tell you who it was, but like I could see facial features through it. It's such a thin, delicate wrapper.
So Sam is deconstructing a cigar, which makes me just think I could have smoked that.
Oh yeah, yeah. We could have. We could have smoked it, but we went for educational purposes instead. So with that, I left the cap on there. I'll let you play with it because you've seen this before. So like, feel how hardy the cap is on there. It gives you appreciation for how tight they roll it and all that stuff. So the cap is what holds everything together. So they roll these leaves that I cut off onto there, and then they'll throw the cap on, and that's the tie that binds. That's the main piece. Here, I'm gonna do a little bit more since we're already this far into it.
I have wiggled it off.
Yeah.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah.
So like, there's no pectin actually bonding it on there, but it showed like you had to sit and work at it to wiggle it out. You had to sit and work at it to get that off there.
Yes, the way you were doing was off camera was amusing.
So, and then we'll get into the binder. So with the binder, you can see it's a lot rougher. It's not nearly as pretty. There's like very little compared to the wrapper. There's very little care given to that side of things. So then when the binder comes off, in this case, it looks like it's 2 instead of 1 leaf for the binder.
Double binder.
You look so just intrigued right now. It's awesome.
Tweaking things in the air.
And what we've done actually here at the shop, we've done it a couple times now, is guys will have like a pipe or something like that, and they'll smoke they'll crush up an individual leaf and try it.
Sure.
And then they'll crush up the next one and be like, that's not even, like, neither one tastes like the cigar. And then you get into the fillers. Now, again, this is from the budget section of things, so it's a little bit rougher than normal is going to be.
Yeah, you might not
come a little closer to the camera, Sam.
Yeah,
you might not be entirely long fillers here. You might be looking at mixed Cuban sandwich.
I think this one's all long filler.
Oh, okay.
Or at least claims to be long filler. So when you get into the actual filler of it, you'll see it's just...
Don't try this at home, kids.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of short filler in there, but that's just looks like it's just mixed in.
To be fair, too, sometimes you guys are going to see stuff. If you were to try this at home, you may see things that you think are short fill. They might just be tearing off the tips and repositioning them to try to keep the blend even. Because what happens is the tip of a leaf is going to be the most intense portion of the flavor, right? Like it's concentrated. You know what I mean? If you look at a leaf and you go, okay, here's the wider area and that's where your flavor is distributed evenly. At the tips, usually that's where everything is at. So like you can smoke a cigar and go, okay, this is flavor forward. So when you initially light a cigar, if all of the power is at the beginning of the cigar, they probably have the tip toward the foot.
Yeah.
But if they mix it in for a more consistent blend instead of something that changes.
Yeah, like we got the Plasencia 149 and that cigar is really cool. Like the first inch and a half of it, it's potent. And then it actually tones way, way back for about half of the second third. And then all of a sudden it comes back with a vengeance. It's weird. And they all do that. Like I've smoked 4 or 5 of them now. they keep doing that, and it's really cool how it builds, drops, and builds, and they do that using exactly what you said.
So when you hear somebody say complexity, like flavor changes, it's usually because they're not trying to take those tips and mix them into the blend to try to keep everything consistent. They're giving you an experience that's going to change a little bit as you go.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Exactly. Now, I don't know if we're gonna be able to see it on this one, but
if you use the monitor as
I'm trying
how you're looking at it,
yeah,
everybody will be able to see it a little better.
So the way that this guy,
if you can't see this, you should probably go subscribe to YouTube and check us out a little bit later on, so you could bump our numbers.
So this guy here, it looks like they didn't use N2 bar or the accordion style. It looks like they really just rolled it up.
N2 bar is
so N2 bar. When they roll N2 bar, they'll take. Hold on, let me grab this piece of paper. They'll take one leaf of filler leaf, and they'll roll it up, and then they'll grab another one, and they'll roll a bunch of tubes, so that they'll actually just roll up a bunch of them together, and that's
for draw.
Yeah, and
the reason they do that is because it provides natural draw channels through each section of the tobacco that they're wrapping, which is the old Cuban style. When he says N2 bar, that is N2 bar, N2 bar. That is
we knew
what
you
it
meant.
means.
It was,
well, so no, I don't think they pronounce the R.
N2 bar.
Yeah.
So when they do that, those are usually more experienced rollers, because it takes a little bit more calibration of your hand to know, like, all right, I'm where I need to be. Now let's throw a binder on it, and we're going to get to the right size. So that's N2 bar. When they do, you want to switch back to this one?
Yep.
When they do rolling in what you're usually going to see now, and I don't know how to do it, guys. They're going to roll it up into accordions. They're going to take that whole leaf and they're going to pull it into itself.
You're going to have
multiple
folds
times
instead of tubes.
Yeah. And you can see that in the wrapper when it looks folded up, and then they'll get it to a certain point. Let's say, trying not to make it more paper noise than I need to. They'll do that, and then they'll roll that accordion up. And now they're close to where they need to be. And if they're a little bit light, the reason that this is the less experienced method, they can take it and they can add a little bit. They can add one leaf here, and they can get it to where they want. And they get a little bit more forgiving. So you have less waste product, stuff like that. But so when you get into the fillers here, we took what actually encouraged us to smoke them in the pipes that day was I was showing the guys the difference between how potent the wrapper is and then the different type of potent that the Ligero is. Because the cigar we tore apart, the Ligero is jet black, and the rest of the cigar is really light. So it was like, here, we just pulled it right out. It was no big deal.
Very evident.
Yeah. But that's just a quick, dirty version of, like, how a cigar is built. I mean,
that's how we roll on this show.
As a guy who can't roll a cigar, I'm speaking from the authority of, I've been shown this a lot, but that's it. I don't know all on that for sure, but that's one of the things I'm really excited. I want to start playing with. I want to get some tobacco in here and a rolling board and stuff like that, and I want to play with it and actually give it that opportunity to, I want to try rolling cigars because it seems fun.
On today's episode of TCJP, we tear apart a cigar.
Yeah. Like, to be honest with you, as the non-sober version, the non-sober representative of this show, and also someone who's seen this, the ADD kicks in a little bit.
Yeah.
But usually it's the things like this that seem to grab our everyday viewer and listener. And so, like, I'm sure there's going to be some appreciation there. If you guys are listening and not following along real well, you guys can always head over to YouTube and you can, like, subscribe and share. Also, and comment like you should on every platform to support us because we appreciate it. You could be like Troy Harper.
Also, if this was something that interested you, if this little segment we did here, the deconstruction of the cigar, the explanation of the things, please let us know. Shoot us an email.
Y'all know where by now.
Yeah, comment on the video.
Yeah, comment on the video is going to be best.
Yeah, comment on the video. We would prefer you guys went to YouTube, shot the comment down on.
The wife says that the Facebook has gone out. I don't see that. For me, it's still up.
Yeah, mine's
the live's still up.
Yeah, so, it's one of those things.
we had a little snafu. So, but anyhow,
yeah, it's really intriguing what goes into them. One of the most fun parts for me, just because the way my brain works in general, is I love seeing how stuff works, how it's put together, how it's made. And I really disappointed in myself at how little I know about this side of it compared to what is out there as far as information. It's because I'm one of those guys, when I see something on YouTube and I hear a guy talking about something and telling you like where he read it from and all that, I'm like, that's cool, but like, can I get a guy that knows how to do it? Because that would be way better. You get, especially like the self-help crew and stuff like that, you get all these business guys that are like, oh, this is what you want to do for your business because so-and-so said it. And I'm like, wait a minute, come on. That's
my wife. So I was a little concerned. Obviously, I just read that message aloud for my wife, and she just said to me that she sent that message 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So shout out to AT&T for your quick
delivery
your
on
quick
that one.
connection services. Got to appreciate that. The 5G is I don't know what it is. So I got a quick question for you. So like just to try to pace this out, we could go back to a very serious topic again, which is great.
Yeah.
But just in case we're losing anybody, can you tell, do I look any lighter on camera? Like, I don't think I do.
I feel like you forgot your sleeves today.
I packed them, but I left that bag at home.
Do you have the zip-on sleeves?
Dude, I love this shirt. I love the sleeveless, and it's still as comfortable as the normal ones. I'm going to have to see if there's enough demand for it that I could get Amber to put up another listing on our page just to order these, because man, they're comfy. Yeah, there used to be muscle here. There isn't now. There's just an obligatory like blob of ink where there used to be a full tattoo. However,
just to make comment on the shirts and stuff like that, I was actually going to wear my Chasing Birdies hat today.
Really?
I found mine in the
to kind of call back to some other guests we've had on, and then I sat down and saw you had the Cigar Social Club shirt on, and I was like, oh man, Sam was kind of like on the same wavelength as me this morning.
So I've got that shirt in a shirt for their branding in my dresser. I never wear it because it's a long sleeve and it's white. And I am 100% sure that Eric would love to see me in this shirt because I feel very confident that my nipples would be entirely visible.
Dude, that long sleeve white one.
My nipples are visible through every shirt I wear.
Wow, and on camera too.
Yeah.
You are
Everhard.
You are excitable.
So my doctor told me to get less fatter.
Yeah.
When I was in my 20s, I played in a band, and I thought I was a rock star, and so I got my nipples pierced, and after that, they've been hard.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
It was the worst thing I ever did. It was horrible because they just stayed infected until I pulled them out. And it was the worst. And listen, kids, come here. Come closer. If you're thinking about having that piercing done, let me just tell you, think that baby through. Because if I could go back, I'd undo that one, guys, for sure.
Mistakes were made, huh?
I didn't have a problem with it.
I would have kept the tattoo. I would have gone back for the recoloring. If any of you guys, this is something that's an ongoing thing that we're considering doing on this show. If any of you guys, especially in the Pittsburgh area, preferably in the Pittsburgh area, or somebody that's like Jason will travel, know somebody that does ink, knows a decent tattoo artist. That's something that I'm considering doing on the show, is trying to find somebody that'll come in, talk with us, smoke a stick, hang with us for the show.
Don't worry about it.
No, we there?
No, it's after. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah. All right. So, but the point is, my doctor told me to get less fatter.
Yeah. And have you been getting less fatter?
I've been getting less fatter. I feel pretty good about it, but it sucks because the little things on Facebook that used to pop up and it'd be like, oh, churro cheesecake cookies. And I'd be like, that's a cool thought for someday. Now I'm like, why do you keep torturing me, man? Because I've been like being really good. Yeah. Like I've been eating at work, nothing but salads. Sometimes with grilled chicken, I'll grill a bunch of chicken, cut it up into small pieces, throw it in a bowl, and like leave it in there to toss into salads. Tossing Salads. That's the new podcast name. he chuckled. You put your head down. That's as good of an idea.
So I guess he's taking my spot on the new podcast.
That's possible.
That's
possible.
No, just no.
How do you look in a cowboy hat, Eric?
I'll change my outfit to just like leather suspenders.
That's exactly
with your pierced nipples hanging out.
Pierced nipples hanging out. They're not pierced. I mean,
they're just.
For a while, I took them out in about 2007, and because when I worked as a police officer, I could not wear
with the vest.
And I mean, they just irritated the shit out of me. Where he used to
keep his handcuffs.
Yeah, I would hang one handcuff off here, and then a little chain, and there would be another handcuff here.
Stop.
So anyhow,
you can only get so erect, guys.
Eric's over there getting antsy.
He said erect. Yeah, I don't know. So, anyways, I feel. I don't know if it's like visibly noticeable, but like since I've gotten a scale at the house, I'm down about around 10.
Nice.
I don't know about the time before that because until I go into the doctor's office and see what their scale measures, it's a little hard to say, you know what I mean? Because the calibration could be a little different. But what's happening is essentially I'm supposed to go back in there in August.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, if you come in at the weight that you were at before, we could probably take you off the blood pressure medicine, which I'm not sure I want to do. I kind of like that little extra barrier in there to protect myself.
Dude.
Because there's been a lot of bacon.
Yeah.
Buddy. How are you perspiring like an excess amount because of the medication? No, I said, are you?
I've noticed no difference.
Holy cow,
also,
dude,
you warned me about
like a whore in church.
You've warned me about drinking. Drinking's just fine. Like the stuff I'm on, it is the only thing that's.
Do you know the name of it?
Not off the top of my head.
Me either.
But I feel better. I really do. Like even in stressful situations, there've been moments where I'd get a little bit of a headache. I could feel my blood pressure in my skull. I'd notice myself in stressful situations, kind of like getting to that point. I just feel pretty good.
But what's nice?
Now I'm still trying to lose the weight.
What's nice is if you get off blood pressure medication, little bit more of that.
Oh, I've got that
time.
covered.
Swing, tent pole.
I've got that covered. There've been no bad effects. But I will say though that I do feel a lot better. But my goal is to go back into that doctor's office, and when he looks at my weight, just be like, "What'd you do?" Crap.
Yeah.
Like, damn, son.
So. Like Shannon and I usually have, I usually follow the wife, right? Because I don't feel an absurd amount of pressure to like lose weight or anything like that, unless she's doing it too and it becomes a competition or something like that. You know what I mean? So I kind of tend to follow those things around our house. We did a vegan challenge at one point in time.
No.
And I blew her out of the water just because I am perfectly capable of just eating wax beans out of a can without heating them.
I can, but no.
That's a great subject to touch on.
Let's go.
The three of us are married.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you worked in the oil field. You worked in the oil field. I worked in the oil field. I am perfectly fine eating SpaghettiOs for a month
that is
straight.
Not the healthy thing, though.
No, but this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm perfectly fine with eating SpaghettiOs for dinner for a month straight every day.
I once went a whole. I'm gonna give it right back to you, but I once went a whole month where all I did was go to Walmart and buy hot dogs and loaves of bread and sriracha.
Yep.
And I would put sriracha on the bread and throw a microwaved hot dog in there and eat that and nothing else for an entire month.
Sure.
Which is probably why I'm in this situation now.
But go home, have like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. The spaghetti. Have spaghetti 3 days in a row, and by the third day, your wife is going to be like, "If I look at another spaghetti noodle, I'm going to kill you."
You have no idea, woman. I don't want to have baked beans, beanie weenies, all that. Did you know beanie weenies are supposed to be cooked?
What?
It says on the can, not the beanie weenies, the
pork and beans.
Yeah, that's what I said. I got it wrong. It's what are they called? It's the little Vienna sausages. It says on the can you're supposed to cook them.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. It was one of those Today I Learned
little
reels.
Tapeworm never hurt anybody.
Yeah, it says on there, like, yeah.
Fun fact, I could still eat ice cream.
Yeah.
Because the ice cream and whatever else is in there is just like, evacuate. It's gone. So cool.
Yeah, we needed to know about your colon.
I try to keep you guys in the loop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
But
Doing vegan though, that I can't.
It was tough.
I can't do that.
You know what?
I would feel like crap.
Shannon missed the cheese. She was like, if I could eat cheese, I could do this. Without the cheese, she's like, I'm out.
What's like for me? I don't feel good like unless I eat primarily proteins. Like that's my body functions better. Even like going carbs, vegetables, fruits, all that. Like if that's my diet, I don't feel good. I'm not as sharp. I'm not mentally attuned whatsoever.
Speaking of sharp, if I can comment, I meant to do this earlier. ADD, it happens.
We know.
This is your perfect amount of hair all the way around. I've got no problem as one man saying to another man, you look good today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I like the color. The color matches everything really good. You can't see any stray grays sticking out anywhere.
It's a nice change.
It's a really good. It's a complimentary. You didn't wear a Junkies thing, which is a little disappointing.
They're not clean.
That's fair. You don't have as many as I do.
Yeah.
Most of my wardrobe has been replaced. Well, but you're looking good today.
I appreciate it, buddy.
This is for future reference. And ladies, if you're not on YouTube, subscribe, and you'll get to see this too.
And my mom agrees too.
Ladies and Eric, this is the perfect amount of shorn for you, the perfect amount of growth, as you will.
Oh yeah, right here.
So we're an hour in, and I'm gonna do another
Shot.
little call to action here.
I got the bottle.
So again, you've heard us.
I will.
You've heard us say it a couple times. We are trying to grow and develop this channel into something a lot bigger than it is now.
Which would be hard.
We are making a lot of changes as far as discussing our format, our just everything in general surrounding the channel. And what we need from you guys is we need you guys to engage with the video. If you like it, if you share it, sharing it is important. Our big push is YouTube right now. We really, really, really want to try and grow the channel. Commenting on the videos, we need help with the algorithm. So if you guys would go out there and you guys would give us a little bit of help, it's free for you. It doesn't cost you anything to help us out.
Not true. Cost them time.
Your time.
It costs them time.
It costs you a few
if you're listening to this, your time ain't that valuable.
Hey.
It just costs you a few seconds. It is very little investment from you, but it is a huge, huge investment to us. And we just ask that you take a couple seconds, go out and either share, like, comment. Even if you're like, oh man, that guy in the blue Sonic the Hedgehog shirt, he's ugly.
We all think that.
Nobody would say that to
anything.
We won't say it, but we think it.
But we would really appreciate it. And I'll stop taking up your time. So, and pass it back over to Corey. And
hand me that cutter, please.
Now back to the words of the sponsors of PBS. I'm going through changes. I don't think that's the right melody, but that's what I think of. Did you ever watch Big Mouth?
No.
You have.
Not.
Oh yes.
It's not my type of show.
But you've never watched it? Then you don't know that. Because Jason, this is the favorite show that you've never watched.
Yeah.
There is a puberty monster.
Yeah.
There are several. But the original Maurice is my man. You don't know what you're missing there, buddy. It is so good. After a little while, it's like, okay, come on, figure something out. But man, them first couple of seasons I watched were incredible.
I never even made it through the whole first season. But what I watched was hysterical, but it's repetitive.
Speaking of seasons, I hear the new season of The Boys is out.
Yes,
I'm in
and I have heard
2.
I've heard a lot about it, and I have heard that
Eric would like it.
That's who I keep hearing about it from.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Full frontal male nudity is encouraged on that one, apparently.
Well, I mean, full frontal male nudity has always been encouraged on it, especially when the guy ran up the other guy's urethra, and then just exploded.
I mean, you could
don't do coke, kids. That's a risky one.
Yeah, I use the medical term.
No, this is Eric's fantasy. Is a guy that can just split in half over and over again and do things with himself. There is literally a scene that is Human Centipede, but it's just one guy that can split in half and do it over and over again.
Oh, okay. So
And here's the best part. Me and the wife were watching it together, and she goes, I don't know if we should watch this with our son in the room. And I'm like, he never watches what we're watching during dinner time. He always looks at his phone.
Mhm.
But
Except
I'm glad for him that he wasn't there whenever that scene came on.
Yeah,
because that would have been a little much.
See, in the
for an impressionable young man, we could have been looking at a new.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, I'm familiar with the source material. It is one of my favorite comic books. I think they don't shy away from that sort of content in the.
Sorry, Shannon, made me laugh really hard in the comment section. My wife just said so many sausages.
They don't shy away from that sort of content in the source material. But the thing about it is that's not the focus. They stick to the general overarching
way to use sticks as the replacement word. Good job.
He's just being funny.
I'm on my own level.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Have you seen Invincible?
Invincible was wild.
My
dude, that's
if that show was live action,
but it's so well written.
Is that a emotional ride?
Holy cow! Yeah, like in 1 minute you're just laughing and giggling along, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Wait,
Daddy, why the subway
happened?
people?"
Yeah, why is he now killing all of his friends?
Yeah, and like stupidly just.
But to understand, and then you're like, "Oh, he's a Viltrumite," and it's basically like
which sounds like something you would call the Orkin Man for.
Interestingly enough, if you think about it, Invincible is Dragon Ball Z.
Yep.
Yeah. And the artwork's not my jam, but like the content will grab you.
Yeah.
I mean, just very
really
much like The Boys
show.
or Game of Thrones. You're just like, really?
Yeah.
They're doing that?
Yeah. I love it.
That's brave.
That's a really good show.
It is intense.
I got through season 1, and now, over the next year and a half, I'll get through season 2.
Interesting enough, if you like something that your kids might get into, how old are they?
7.
7. It's called Sweet Tooth.
I've heard of this.
It's based on a graphic novel, and it's kind of like an oppressed thing. So there was a genetic mutation that children were starting to be born with like animal attributes. Like one's like a little not really, but one's like half pig, half human. There's half owl, like they're all half animal. And it's the disease that there's a disease that's killing the humans, and these kids are immune to it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really, really, really cool.
That's wild. It's your rapid evolutionary system kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's kid friendly.
It is kid friendly.
Okay.
It is kid friendly. It's in it like for a youth drama. It's perfect.
You said half human, half pig, and Eric just moved halfway across the shop to get closer. He's like, I'm interested.
Oh, you have no idea how perfect that is right now.
Hey, Jason.
Hey,
how would you like to mess with this guy over here with the cowboy hat on? I think we should talk about pinball.
It's enough. And it's a multi-function gaming system.
So I have a tendency on the marketplaces. I can't spend any money. I have no monies. My wife has told me numerous times, we have none. I can spend none. But what I can do is I can look for things for other people. And I sent this guy a thing, and I think I hurt his soul a little bit. And I don't know why he can't just do a thing for himself.
Machine.
No, it's not.
It's a multi-gaming.
It is an electronic one that has like switch controllers on it, and it can be like any pinball machine you want.
Yeah.
But it has an Archer pinball.
Yeah, it's an arcade cabinet. It's digital pinball. It's
That's
Switch.
cool.
It's all of it in one.
I called him up because I'll send him links, and I know sometimes they're going to get ignored. But I was like, hey, man, you need to look at this one just in case, like, you were just going to be like, man, not now.
Yeah.
Because you need to see what's on this. Because it is Archer pinball, which is the most Sam thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm like, bro, this is your jam.
All I can picture is like the ball goes up and gets caught in one of the cups and holds, and all it is that Archer pops up on the screen. Lana.
I just want there to be like a food thing somewhere, and where when it gets caught, he goes, "Do you want ants?" That's how we get ants.
That's how we get ants. What was the name of the lemur?
I don't remember.
Why can't I think of the name of the lemur?
So I guess you're not
the ocelot. Sorry,
you're not actively pursuing it.
No, I want to.
I got to call Britt because if there was a, you know what, bro, just pull a Puskovich. Just sell a ticket for the building fund. You know what I mean? Just do a raffle for the building fund, and just like the proceeds benefit.
Get after it.
Jason's or not Jason, but Sam's inner child. You know what I mean? Like,
just, the thing is phenomenal.
I seen it and I was like, oh.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, okay, if I put it here, I'll never get to play it.
Correct.
But if I put it at home, I get to play it one day a week.
This is true.
You know what would happen? You put it in here, and all of a sudden, Sam's a half hour early to work every day.
Poof, he made it.
and then subsequently a half hour late to work every day.
To open the door, yeah. That's how it seems to go.
People are in there knocking. It's like Clerks. They're just
open?
like he's playing hockey on the roof, but he's playing Archer pinball in the back.
Well, what did you think? Sorry, we did not actually get through everybody talking about the stick we're smoking.
So the 601 Warhead, is that what it's called?
Yep.
I got it. The 601 Warhead. It was very, very, very well constructed. That is something I am finding myself paying attention to a lot more now that I am a intermediate avid cigar smoker. I pay attention to the construction and the draw of the cigar way more than I do most anything else, because there aren't many cigars that I'm like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Maybe a handful of them. I have a very wide palate range. I like a lot of different things. And the most important thing to me is the construction and the draw of the cigar. And this thing was constructed very well. It's about my preferred taste. I'd call it medium. It didn't blow my socks off. The retrohale was a little bit spicy.
Yeah.
So you don't want to pour through it. Now the 601 yellow that I had yesterday was a little more on the mild side. It was an easier retrohale, but the Warhead today, it is fitting of its name.
Yeah.
It's a Warhead, man. It tasted well, or it tasted good.
That was a good candy.
Oh yeah,
Remember Warheads? Good times. I like those.
Man, I see Corey's ADD and I'm ADD, and I am very easily knocked off the tracks. A slight breeze left or right will knock me off the tracks, and I'll be like, "Oh man, what was I talking about?"
No, I think your description was great.
No, it's good, man. And for my personal take, for a Solomon or a Figurado, however you want to quantify this, based on the manufacturer's own representation, actually really good burn.
Yeah.
Under the circumstances, I know yours started a little wonky.
Yeah.
But I think it corrected pretty good.
That's so a lot of guys, look at the breakfast taco. That I sell a lot of those, and I tell everybody when they have that, semi-closed foot where it comes down, just has that small opening to light, until it gets to where it actually rounds out and becomes the full width, don't touch it up. Leave it alone. So like with mine, I lit it. It had a runner that went up. I let it go out. And then I relit it from the other side, and it burned wonky. But when you get to that point of that where it actually reaches its full ring gauge, that's when you want to start paying attention to the burn. Because on its way there, there's a lot going on in there that makes it really difficult for the cigar to actually prove its construction.
Transitions, just leave it go.
Yeah, and just let it get through that transition before you touch up something like that. And that's, other than that, mine's been perfect the whole time.
Yeah,
I had one runner at the beginning, and so what?
I've made no adjustments.
Yeah. Yeah, that's even like the Plasencia Almafuerte, that comes in a Salomon. That's a higher end stick. And they do it too. Like it doesn't, I don't think there's any control that they can put on that to actually correct that from start to finish. Plus, you can't light it 100% even. I don't care how good you are. It's too difficult to actually get there.
If you're OCD about your burn, instead of opting to touch up with your lighter, place the part of the cigar that is not burning well at the bottom. A lot of people feel the opposite. I know I did for a long time, but so you would think that you want the heat to go up to help increase the burn, but the oxygen is at the bottom of your cigar. So if you got a part that isn't burning, put that part at the bottom whenever you're sitting in the ashtray or when you're just resting and not hitting on it, and it should probably even up on its own.
Yeah, no, that's a good way for it. I mean, like right now, mine's a little bit off, but that's because I'm sitting here swinging it around and all that. Sure. I think your description of it was really, really good. It definitely has that spice on the retro that's there. It very much, the retro hill, just think of AJ Fernandez and poof, that's what you got. Like it's that's his song. Like it's perfect.
Yeah, it had a if you're talking about like flavor notes and stuff, it was like about halfway down into the cigar, I started to notice like a very rich, earthy taste to it. And that's one of the things I like. I'm a coffee drinker. I like earthy, dark Sumatra coffees, French roasts, Italian roasts, stuff like that. And I would definitely buy this cigar. 100%.
Yeah, that's when I saw, because you guys did the list from Leaning House. When I saw it on there, I have never had this one before from them, but all of their stuff is just, it has a really nice complexity to it. And it's always a good time. You got anything else, brother?
Yeah, I got a few things.
See you getting ready to jot?
Well, I'm jotting.
Yeah.
When I'm jotting, you should be talking.
He just wanted to write my name down.
Well, but if what you were jotting was something to move to, I wanted to indicate that
I don't trust myself.
It is time.
So, yeah, it's...
Yeah.
I do have more, but give me a second.
You got anything big coming up this week?
No, I actually have 2 days off in the middle of the week this week, which is nice. They're not working me 6 days this week.
Yeah, it's always pleasant.
It's cool.
You've been at the short end of that stick, man. You've been getting 5 days and like 4 12s. That's a lot. Yeah, I'm using you as my built-in filter to see if because I probably shouldn't say it, but yeah.
I got a booger or something?
No, not quite.
I don't know what that word is.
Really? Oh, salad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we'll let that one go.
Welcome to the group. Thanks for hanging out and joining us, guys. Anybody that isn't in the chat room with us, if you want to hang with us, we're here live, usually every Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m. Where can you find us? You can join the Facebook group, and you will see the live posted up, and you'll be able to comment and hang with us while we do the show live every Sunday. This week's new members for the group are Cigars and Cigars.
That's really what it says.
I mean, it's straight to the point. And Jason Carver. So thanks for coming in and hanging out with us.
Appreciate it.
Next Sunday, we will be smoking the Olmec Claro.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
I believe it's a Toro. I'm not actually don't know what size it is, but I think
size
it's Toro.
Isn't important until I go to post up the visual.
But yeah, we'll be going out that. I have not had it yet.
If you want to know what we are smoking next week, there's always a banner ad posted up for the next week on the Facebook group where you can find out what we're smoking and hang with us while we smoke it. Until then, see you guys next Sunday at 9:30. Say your thing.
Salut.
Hey.